Hi. So, I'm going to read the next chapter of Moose. This one's called Slight Opposition. I was having a conversation today just to try to how to frame these videos properly, because I'm going through, like, obviously, a failed relationship. So one that I didn't want to end, one that I thought was like end game. And it's been very emotional. Work's been really hard, and then I thought a dog would make things better. Because I've not been drinking, I've been taking care of myself, I've been sticking to my own routine, like I've been doing really well, doing really like all the right healthy things as I've discussed with my therapist, and like walking and gardening, exercising, my diet's really well. He said that the dog would be good too for me, but he agreed that it probably wasn't, well, it just didn't work out. But that was like a lesson to learn, that not everything works out, and to let go, and to not beat yourself up, and to do your best. And despite all of that, like, my general frame of mind is pretty good, but I get these just overwhelmingly sad moments where I cry, and then I record it, and it's embarrassing. And my ex told me before that it's like, like it was like a narcissistic trait or something like that. I don't know. But I was just trying, at that point in time, when I first made this channel back in December, it was a way for her and I to connect, because I was not living there, and I had moved out. And so when I resumed doing these videos more recently, I was making it too personal, and it's kind of embarrassing when I'm thinking about it, but in the moment it's just trying to impart that. So I don't want to do that type of crap anymore. I want to I want to heal, and this is my way of doing it, I guess. Just putting myself out there, because I don't like hanging out with people. People's energies are overwhelming. I prefer to be a lone wolf, or if I have a partner, which I've always had a partner, except for I had a year between Alex and Bonnie, and then only 2 months last time. So anyway, it's a good thing this is a short chapter. Blah blah blah. This chapter is called Slight Opposition. In combat, there are times when pervasive pain is hidden. The anguishing days of marching and fighting seem to lose their sting when the promise of relief is rumored. Wait a minute. Yeah, I already read that one. So I went back to read the other chapter again last night, so this one's called Dachau, Dachau. It was a brisk April day in Hitler's Vaterland. The 8 men in my detail were aimlessly wandering across the fallow fields of green and gold. I was wondering how in hell I had gotten us so separated from our company. We had strung 3 rolls of barbed wire during the night. Returning, we must have taken a left instead of a right. We were hungry and exhausted. In the distance, we saw what appeared to be a sign of civilization. As we neared it, we discovered that it was a large fenced area of some sort. Carefully, we crept closer. 2 German staff cars and 3 open trucks loaded with Kraut soldiers streaked through the gate and sped towards the distance. We were bewildered by the German garrison's sudden exit. Cautiously, with the fear of combat. Infantrymen crossed a minefield. We made our way toward the battered wire gate, which was hanging ajar. Sorry. This is like the worst chapter I've ever read ever. This just felt familiar. Did I read this last night after my video too? Anyway. They spoke German and we didn't understand, but we did understand that they had been prisoners. One of the sad-looking group heard me say, "They're German prisoners, probably Jewish or Catholic." He seemed to explode with joy. He cried out in German, "Americans! They're American!" The excited prisoner embraced me. I was immediately overcome by his indescribable odor. But what was worse, I saw crawling in his scalp and eyebrows hordes of lice. Abruptly, I pushed him away. He was so frail, it didn't take much of a push. He grasped my left hand and kissed it. I felt instantly sad and somehow guilty. But there was no way of any of us could communicate. We took a brief walking tour of the camp. The small group of men closely followed us, making indecipherable comments, but we didn't hear anything that they mumbled. Our attention was fixed on the horrors we were witnessing. The world has been exposed to them now. The specter of an open trench piled high with wasted bodies, the stench, the ovens filled with incompletely burned human bones. In half an hour I saw enough to fill my nightmares for the remainder of my life, and that was more than 60 years ago. We ended up back near the front gate. We had attracted a large crowd of pitiful humans. They had followed along behind us. We were at a loss as what to do with these poor souls when 3 jeeps came barreling into the camp. A couple of 2-star generals and their staffs jumped out their jeep and ran over to us. "How long you men been here, soldier?" asked the first lieutenant. "Too fucking long, sir," I said. "You know what this place is? Did you see any krauts anywhere?" They all took off about an hour ago. "This is some sort of labor camp, right?" One of the 2 stars was standing behind him. "This is no damn work camp, son. This is a Nazi extermination camp. They exterminated Jews and Catholics and gypsies in this shithole. This camp is Dachau. Now you and your men better get your asses out of here, pronto." The lieutenant indicated on a small contour map where our outfit was last seen and pointed us in the right direction. We were happy to leave there. No one said a word until much later when we reached our division. For God's sake, what could we say? About 4 o'clock the following morning, April 12th, 1945, a date I'll never forget, the company was assembled. Captain Clarence F. McSpadden from Electra, Texas addressed us. "Men, great news. President Rosenfield just kicked the bucket. 80% of the company comprised of young southern crackers and rednecks, hooped and hollered and cheered. My heart sank within me. Later that day, we assaulted a small town called Bridenbeck, where I was shot in the knee, forcing me to walk with a cane ever since. A lifetime later, reports on TV and in newspapers claimed a Japanese outfit liberated Dachau during World War II at a much later date in April. Preposterous. Soon, another group claimed that they were the ones who accomplished the liberation of Dachau weeks after we were there. There was a big spread in the Times about that. Bullshit. Just a few weeks ago, I received a letter from the new Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. The writer introduced himself by stating he was a soldier who, with his company, liberated Dachau, and presently sponsored by the museum, he was traveling around the country, lecturing to school kids about the horrors he witnessed when he liberated Dachau prison camp during World War II. This letter inspired a reply from me, an angry reply. I stated that no one liberated Dachau. Not he, not the Japs, not I. The Germans just left. They did the liberating of their own prisoners. The phony never answered me. Yeah. Wow. Like, what the fuck was going on? In these, like... I'm just looking at some of the photos. Anyway, next chapter is called Happy Birthday, Randy. I don't think he means Randy Rhoads. Peace.